So I've seen almost nobody on TikTok do a review about this movie, which I think is fucking criminal. Because I just watched Black Christmas 1974 for the first time the other day, and let me just say this is easily one of my favorite slasher movies of all time. It has crept its way into my top 10. For a time in its genre where slashers were pretty bland and there were very few of them, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Psycho, this movie is an absolute breath of fresh air. I mean, this movie was amazing to me. This was the epitome of why I love old school horror. So this one follows a group of sorority girls as they are stalked and killed off one by some absolutely fucking crazy lunatic. I tried to emphasize that, but that's almost an understatement because Billy is Billy's scary as fuck, you guys. I think this is one of my favorite slashers because of just how out there this killer is. I mean, these phone calls and the things he's saying to these girls on these phone calls are absolutely chilling and unnerving, from the different voices he's making to the things he's saying. I mean, it's honestly, I've never seen a slasher movie like this before, genuinely. And for this to be a 70s movie, I actually found the acting to be pretty solid, especially from the lead role, the final girl, so to speak, in this. Really good overall, and that performance from Billy is made of that shit was terrifying. Look, I can barely speak thinking about this movie because I was shocked and surprised at how good this was and just how taken away I was. Like, it was an amazing film. I love the shots. I love how we are seeing the kills from the killer's POV. I thought that really added a much needed element to this sort of invasion themed horror. Feels like you're really in the house with these people. Absolutely phenomenal job of tension building, and the score was so damn haunting. I love the old school scores for these movies. They hit different. Like, this was genuinely one of those movies that to me had not one dull moment. I thoroughly enjoyed this from beginning to end. The end was really good. Honestly, I was low key upset when this film ended because I wasn't ready to turn it off yet. I enjoyed it that much. Some really solid kills in there too, which were complemented with some pretty disturbing imagery, especially for that period of time. So credit to them for just this feels like it was probably a pretty ballsy movie, especially from a filmmaking standpoint at that period of time, and I can respect them for that. I see it, I acknowledge it, I love it. I mean, check out the tagline for this movie. If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight. They're not lying, because this movie is skin crawling. That's the perfect way to describe it, which I can't say very often for slasher movies. This is one I would absolutely recommend to everyone. Every single horror fanatic should see this if you haven't already. If you don't find yourself to be a fan of maybe some of the more popular slashers, the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michaels, all those, give this a shot. This is so incredibly underrated. I think a lot of you will enjoy this. Not gonna lie, y'all, this might be a 10 out of 10 for me. I gotta rewatch it, but as of now, I'm gonna go ahead and give it that ranking for sure.